Welcome to Inkquiring Minds. My name is Doug and I'm back with another fountain pen review. Today we're going to look at a solid silver fountain pen that is as much a work of art as it is an exquisite writing instrument. This is the new Pocket Victorian from Yardaled. Molly English of Yardaled contacted me a couple of months ago and asked if I'd be interested in doing a review of this newly redesigned Pocket Victorian fountain pen. The previous design was discontinued in 2020. After a very enjoyable video call discussion about fountain pens and Yardaled, Molly sent me this incredibly beautiful, handmade, solid silver Pocket Victorian fountain pen to share with you and my wife. More about that later. Let's take a look at this masterpiece right now. I was contacted by Molly English of Yardaled Pens about a month ago, but Molly has sent me this pen from Yardaled, and I'm really excited about it. So let's unbox it right now. Oh, we'll need my knife. Very convenient. Feels like a book. And here's the box. It's very rugged. Hard cardboard, deep blue, Yardaled silver foil since 1822, and it has a leather-like orange pull tab. And we open that up. And there's another case inside. Let's take that out. That's probably got the pen in it. What do you think? Well, there's a pull tab there. Ah, it's a polishing cloth. Let's take that out. Put that back. And let's put this back in the drawer. The end of the box says Yardaled Pocket FP Victorian Enamel M LB1037. And here we go. Let's open this up. How does it open? I'm all excited. There we go. Oh my goodness. Isn't that beautiful? Let's slide it out. And it's hermetically sealed, which is good because this is solid silver. So I'm going to break the hermetic seal very carefully. And I gotta do this. Because as you'll see, this pen does not belong to me. I have gifted it to my wife, Wynne, for Christmas. And as you'll see, it has her name on it too. And there's the gorgeous solid silver Yardaled. And there's the light blue enamel on the very bottom finial. This is the new pocket version with the Victorian engraving. And actually, I misspeak. That's not engraving. That is chasing. Engraving takes material away, whereas chasing just is hammering with different tools into the surface of the silver. So it doesn't remove any material. And they asked me if they could put my initials on it, and I said, I would like you to put my wife's name, Wynne, on that pen. This pen is a little small for my hand, and I would probably not get as much use out of it. I did say that I wanted to see this chasing because I think the Victorian chasing on it is the most elegant that they make. There's 2 or 3 different styles of chasing you can get on these pens. We'll go over that in more detail when I do the review. And this unscrews, and there is the number 5 size 18 karat gold Yardaled nib in medium. And I believe this posts. Yes, it does. It screws to post. And it screws perfectly aligned. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Well, I gotta say that my heart is beating here. They don't make these pens and keep them in stock. They make them when you order them. And we'll have to see what kind of ink we put in this to give it a test. There's a lot we need to cover with this pen review. I want to talk about the history of Yardaled, and I'm pronouncing the name how I heard it from Molly. Yardaled. Of course, you can say Yard-O-Led if you choose. We'll talk about the new partnership of Yardaled, how the pens are handmade in Birmingham, England, and we'll look at the parts and features of this newly redesigned pocket model and compare it to a Yardaled Viceroy Grande that my pen club friend Mike has loaned me for this review. Thanks, Mike. Yardaled has a long history going back to 1882, when Samson Morden patented the first self-propelled mechanical lead pencil. Then in the early 20th century, a German silversmith invented a self-propelling pencil holding 12 3-inch leads. or a Yard OLED. He joined forces with Morden's partner and formed Yard OLED in 1934. The company's London factory was bombed out during the Blitz in World War II, and after the war they moved the manufacturing to Birmingham, England, where they are still made today with some of the same machines. Last year, the owners and designers of the Bremont Watch Company, Giles and Nick English, joined forces with Emma Field of Yard OLED to help move the company into the future. Yard OLED writing instruments are made from 925 sterling silver. Current prices of silver are around $1.60 per gram. Since the Viceroy Grand weighs 66 grams, not all silver of course, but you have at least $100 of solid silver on the pen. The silver is hand-chased by artisans, some of whom have been doing this for 50 years. Chasing is the hammering of the designs and patterns into the silver with a tool. So each writing instrument will be slightly different, even when done by the same artisan. Yard OLED says that the Grande takes about 3,000 hammer strikes to create the pattern, and building each pen by hand takes several weeks to complete. Most of us will blanch at the price of these pens and pencils, but you can also see and appreciate where that price is derived. Precious materials formed into works of art by skilled artisans with the backing of decades, if not hundreds of years, of experience behind them. This is something that will stand the test of time. These are treasures that can be passed down through the generations. Reading through some of the threads about Yard OLED on the various internet forums and Reddits, I found numerous examples of people talking about how their Yard OLED was handed down by their fathers or given by a grandparent at their christening many years ago, and how the writing instruments will be kept in the family for generations. You don't find objects made with such care and skill and with such longevity in very many places in the world anymore. I just restored a 100-year-old Waterman 52.5V ebonite fountain pen that looks and functions just as it did in 1925. I said in that video that they don't make them like that anymore. Well, folks, they do. And this is one. Now let's take a close look at this new version of the Victorian pocket pen. From what I can tell, the new model differs from the pre-2020 pocket in several ways. The top finial section, the cap and barrel band, and the end finial are made of brass, not gold-plated silver as I incorrectly mentioned in the unboxing. The older model was all silver. The new model has a threaded cap, where the old one was a pull-off cap. And the old model was posted with a snap as well, instead of the screw-on posting of the new model. And it looks to me like the chased Victorian design has been simplified. Instead of applying it all over the cap and barrel, there are bands of smooth silver on adjacent sides, which I really like. I might be incorrect about that, but the previous models I've seen in pictures look a little bit busier than this one, and I really like this simplified version. There are two other designs offered with the new pocket model, Barley Wave and Honeycomb. The Victorian chasing is done by hand, where the Barley Wave and the Honeycomb are machined, hence the higher price of the Victorian. Overall, the pen is about 4 3/4 inches long and weighs 25 grams. My Diplomat Viper weighs 29 grams, and the Leonardo Momento Zero Aluminia weighs 44 grams. And here it is with a Pilot Banana for scale. From the top, we see the polished brass finial that extends 1 centimeter down the cap to the 925 sterling silver cap. The vintage-style silver clip is riveted to the cap with the serial number engraved on the top, 1037, and Yard OLED stamped into the silver down the length. The cap and the barrel are the same diameter over the length of the pen, and that's about 10 millimeters. Just under the clip, the brass cap band extends to the separation with the barrel, and the top of the barrel has about 3 millimeters of brass as well. There are 2 hallmarks for the 925 silver content stamped into the cap, and the barrel has 7 more hallmarks. Let's look at them in order. They are YOL, the manufacturer's hallmark, Yard OLED, 2 sterling silver hallmarks for a 925 or 92.5% pure silver, an anchor denoting Birmingham as the city of manufacture, a walking lion representing the country of manufacture, Britain, a letter A for the year of manufacture, 2025, and a plus medal that denotes other materials in this pen aren't silver. And just under the clip, very, very tiny, engraved, it says metal. as well. And on the side of the cap, they've engraved my wife's name, Win. The end finial is remarkable for a couple of reasons. First, it has this lovely inlaid enamel coin in the center in this pale blue. This is available in 3 colors, deep blue, light blue, and white, depending on the engraving you get. Secondly, it doesn't look like a screw thread here at all, and yet the cap screws onto this finial to post. The cap unscrews with less than a turn to reveal the short brass section and number 5 size 18 karat gold medium nib and black plastic or ebonite feed. I'm not sure which. And the feed has been given a vintage treatment in its design as well. Instead of the typical modern style finned feed, this is a solid chunk of feed with open channels on the back, resembling the feed from a 1920s fountain pen more than one from the 21st century. I like it. The cap screws onto the finial, making the pen a well-balanced and nice length. The single start thread ensures the clip aligns with the nib every single time. I like that too. The 10mm thickness of the pen is very comfortable, and the Victorian chasing keeps it from being slippery. This is just elegance personified. Let's look more closely at this nib. I don't know what the plating is on this gold. It might be nickel, it might be palladium. I also don't know who supplies Yardaled's nibs. They're not made in-house, they might be German. There's some nice scroll work on the top, a swoop-de-doo engraving just above Yard OLED, 18 CT 750 for the gold content and M for medium. I don't know if that nib and feed is friction fit or that's a nib unit. I didn't dare try to unscrew it. And the section unscrews, and the pen only takes short international cartridges. And there's a small silicone O-ring right there to keep the barrel from unscrewing from the section during use. If you want to use bottled inks, you'll have to syringe fill empty cartridges. I've experimented with a couple of the short slide piston Kaweco converters, and while it does fit in the pen, when you close the barrel, it pushes the end of the piston down slightly, so it might expel a drop of ink. This shouldn't be a problem given a little bit of practice. The inside of the cap shows brass fittings at the screw part of the cap and at the top of the cap, which I believe might seal the nib, but there's no liner as there is, for example, in the Viceroy. This pen retails for $839 US for the Victorian chasing, which has the sky blue enameling, and $719 US for the barley wave with the royal blue and the honeycomb with the white enameling. They come with your choice of fine, medium, or broad nibs. Let's give filling it with a Kaweco slide converter a go. I'm going to use some J. Urbain Poussière de Lune. I'm going to refrain from translating that incorrectly. Correct translation is moon dust, and it's a nice purple ink. And then when I'm done with the writing samples, I can switch to these Kaweco Summer Purple cartridges that were provided to me by Inkquiring Minds member Linda Fassett. Thanks, Linda. When Wynn takes the pen, she'll prefer using cartridges, so I'll pass along these 2 boxes that Linda provided. So here's the Kaweco slide converter, and it fits in nice and tight. I'll push the stem down, get down into the ink, and give it a couple of draws. Now, I'm just going to hold the nib over the bottle of ink while I put the barrel back on, because the barrel might just push on the back of that piston a little bit, and we'll see if we get a drop of ink. Yeah, a little bit of ink is being pushed out. It didn't even drop, so it's very little. Sop up the extra with a tissue. There we go. Now let's look at some size comparisons. And here is the Yardaled Pocket Victorian with a Kaweco Sport Amethyst, a 2018 Viceroy Grande in Victorian, a Diplomat Viper, a Leonardo Momento Zero Alumina, and an Asvine J16 Titanium. Now let's look at them posted. And here they are posted. Of course, the Yardaled Pocket and the Kaweco Sport are designed to be written with posted. The Yardaled Viceroy is not designed to post. The Diplomat and the Leonardo are both aluminum, and the Asvine J16 is titanium. Now let's look at them unposted. And here they are unposted. These 2 pens are too short to be written with unposted, and they're not designed to be written with unposted anyway. And here you can see the normal patina that's built up over a number of years of using the pen. If you don't polish this one, this is what it'll end up looking like. Some people do like that patina, that vintage look, especially with this kind of chase work on the pen. Some people don't like fingerprints. Now let's look at some measurements, and I'll be back with a writing sample. And we're back with the writing portion of the review. This is 90 GSM Clairefontaine paper, and this is the Yard OLED. Don't ask me why they spelled this LED instead of LEAD. I have no idea. And this is the Pocket Victorian, and it has an 18 karat gold, number 5 size, medium nib. Let's check the wetness. Well, it's a gusher, folks, and that nib is super smooth. And of course the ink, as you saw, is J. Urbain. Okay, let's see if I can write this out. Right, looking at the box. Poussière, S-S-I-E-R-E, with an accent grave over the E, de lune. It's never simple with the French, is it? Never. This is a lovely smoky pink kind of purple. I really like it. And let's look at some line thicknesses with no pressure. I'll give one with some pressure. There we go. And we'll check out the line widths with my Dominant Industries MM pad. And the horizontal line is 0.5. The vertical line is 0.6. And the thick line is 0.8. So we've got 0.5 millimeters to 0.6 millimeters to 0.8 millimeters, because this is an extremely soft and bouncy 18 karat gold nib. Look at that line variation. Let's close up on this so you can see the nice bounce. It's not a flex nib, folks, so don't go pressing. Well, if you have this pen, you're not going to be pressing it into the page like a ballpoint pen anyway, but it adds an extra softness to your writing. And let's do a quote. And for some reverse writing, it has a little bit of scratch to it, but much thinner. And some quick writing. Well, I don't see that feed having any problems in keeping up. So what do I like and what do I not like so much about this fountain pen? Well, it's a bit overwhelming to try to evaluate this fountain pen. It's far more than a fountain pen. It's a unique work of art and craftsmanship. It is something that will last forever. The seriously precious metals, the handmade workmanship, and not least the elegant beauty of this writing instrument make it truly grail-worthy. And I don't think I did the chasing justice when I showed it earlier. Let's do a real beauty pass here and show the unique fingerprint of the artisan that tooled this design by hand. Every one is different. Every one of those marks a particular hammer strike by the artisan, but I think this is extraordinary. Let's also take a look at Mike's Viceroy. After several years of use, it's still looking beautiful. He likes the vintage look when you use the pen, and so he doesn't polish it regularly. So this is the look you get from a Viceroy that's been used for a number of years. 925 sterling silver. But to evaluate this as just a writing instrument, a fountain pen, well, it's exemplary as a fountain pen as well. It writes beautifully, it's well balanced in the hand and comfortable. It's plenty long enough when posted for most people to write with comfortably. I do wish they would provide a converter that fits the pen so bottled ink lovers can use it easily without having to syringe fill a cartridge. And as you've seen, the Kaweco Mini push converter does fit in this fountain pen with a little margin of error. This pen is exquisitely beautiful, stylish, and uniquely crafted with its own fingerprint of chased silver. However, it is quite expensive, far exceeding the price of a typical fountain pen. As a luxury item, it's likely to be out of most people's budget. Yard OLED recognizes this and markets their products as such. They emphasize that purchasing a Yarda-LED writing instrument is a significant investment, akin to buying jewelry to commemorate special life moments, celebrations, or achievements. For example, a silver pen could be a lasting gift to mark a graduation, marriage, or other life milestone. And to put the price in perspective, consider the Mont Blanc 149, the epitome of fountain pen luxury, which retails for around $1,000 US. The Mont Blanc is a plastic pen. Regardless of how precious you think the plastic resin is, it isn't as precious as solid 925 sterling silver. Giles English has admitted that determining their pricing is quite challenging. Given the recent surge in the cost of pure silver and the considerable labor involved in handcrafting these pens over weeks rather than days, I believe Yarda-LED's pricing is reasonable for the quality you're getting. And I think the luxury brand markup is considerably lower, if not non-existent, for Yarda-LED compared to Mont Blanc. And there you have it. Thanks go out to Yarda-LED for this incredibly generous donation of this treasure to my channel and to Win. Thanks also go out to Mike for providing his beautiful Yarda-LED Viceroy for comparison with the review. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe for free. And don't forget to ring that bell to get instant notifications whenever a new video is posted. And you can join as a member of my channel for only 99 cents a month, and I guarantee I'll answer your comments in the comment section, and you'll get cool emojis, badges, sneak peek unboxing videos, as well as instant access to my videos the moment I post them. And that just leaves it for me to say, as I write with this pen for the very last time, thank you. For watching. And that's all she wrote.
I made this.